Hey guys, it's Alex coming at you from Southern California once again. I received 4 records in the mail today. Pretty excited about all of them, so I just wanted to come on real quick and share those. Let me turn on the music just a touch. Alright. So what's playing in the background is the first record that I received today. This is Muriel Grossman's Reverence, 2-record set, just released. I ordered this directly from her, so I assume those of us that pre-ordered are going to start receiving these over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, those in Europe probably already have them in hand. She is based out of Ibiza, Spain, and these records are pressed in Europe. I don't know exactly where they're pressed. The record label is called RR Gems. They also did the Brahma record that I showed as one of my favorites of 2019. So that label is really doing outstanding work. Obviously, they put out her first record a couple of years back. So yeah, if you don't know her, she's a saxophone player. She plays tenor, alto, and soprano. There's the group of 5. I believe at least 4 of them are also on the first record, and then there's also an organ player here, Lawrence Barcelo as well. So yeah, this is, as you can hear, it's quite beautiful. It's a really, really nice gatefold. That's the other thing about her releases. She really has spared no expense. The pressing is beautiful, quiet, flat. But of course, it's all about the music, and as the title would suggest here, this is very much spiritual jazz. I think this one, more than her first one, is intended to be more Afrocentric. You can't hear it so much on this track, but a couple of the tracks have a lot of traditional African percussion throughout. Excellent stuff. I've only spun it once so far, but I wanted to come on and show this because her first record sold out very quickly. May or may not be repressed, so definitely jump on this while they last. I think they actually pressed about 1,000 of these this time, so yeah, and hopefully some of the U.S. distributors like Forced Exposure out of New York or Dusty Groove out of Chicago will probably carry these, but yeah, definitely check it out. Yeah, they even come with these nice anti-static sleeves. There's the RR Gems label. Beautiful, beautiful record. Second one that I got in the mail today was this one here, Inner Space by Sven Liebek. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So this is a fairly famous record amongst sort of soundtrack and library music enthusiasts. This is a reissue from 2016, originally from 1973. So this was a soundtrack to an Australian a nature show about deep sea excursions and so on. I've never seen the show. Kind of see it. So these are the antagonists of the show here, Ron and Val Taylor. So Inner Space being the name of the show. Really nice record. Sort of spacey, sometimes aquatic-ish jazz rock, I would say. Funky at times, all short tracks, as you might imagine. It's a bunch of tracks tracks in here. So yeah, definitely if you like library music, and I'm sure this has been shown in the VC before. Because yeah, when the reissue came out, it was a big deal because the originals are impossible to find, and when you have a cover like that, I mean, it's automatic collector's item, right? So yeah, I got this used for like $15. Really happy to add that. Next one is a 30-year-old guy from the LA area here. I believe this was put on his own label. Oh, maybe not. He's on Root Strata. It might be his own label. I can't remember now. But anyway, he's a experimental artist, composer as well. Like I said, young guy. Really, really beautiful stuff. I'll put in some needle drops of these as well if I get a chance. So I think there's sort of, I don't know if it's like we call it a movement, but there's definitely a handful of very excellent artists here in the LA area that are putting out what I would consider sort of spiritual ambient music. A lot of it is composed, but it very much has that sort of a spiritual vibe. Droney, excellent stuff. He's put out a lot of stuff. He's been putting out music for about 10 years now. So Sean McCann, this one's called 10 Impressions for Piano and Strings. So yeah, he plays all the instruments here. It's all piano and string drone music. So yeah, check out the clip if you're interested. He's got a lot of stuff on Bandcamp as well that he's putting out. And finally, yeah, I mean, I would basically call this a grail. Fantastic record from 1976. Henri Techier's Amir. It's not a first press, but it's a 1979 press, French press. The record the cover made famous by Big Star 1000. I think it's his icon on YouTube. Aside from that, I think it's one of the best 70s French records I've ever heard. I mean, it's right up there with anything else in any genre, and it's just an exquisite record. It's a bit hard to pigeonhole. It's really not jazz. It's really not rock or pop or anything like that. It's and I'm going to use the word spiritual again, maybe overuse it, but this really is it's deep music. What Derek would consider, sometimes he calls it healthy music. So Henri Techier, he's a double bass player and composer. He did come up through playing jazz early in his career, but he's got three of these records, like 76, 70, basically like 76 through 79, I believe, his first three records, that are just his solo records, and just deeply influenced by Eastern and African influenced by jazz. Like I said, it's not, I wouldn't call it jazz, and I will needle drop it so you guys can get a taste, but it's beautiful stuff. There's wordless vocals throughout. Nobody else is credited on any of these records. So I do believe that he's playing all of the instruments. So, including percussion, flute, and piano on some tracks. So yeah, there's 7 tracks here, and they're all. It's an amazing record. Like I said, well, maybe I didn't mention it, but these 3 solo records have been reissued in the last couple of years. I was on the fence about buying them. I'm kind of glad I held out and was able to get this early pressing. I'm still on the hunt for the other 2. One of them is very hard to get, and the other one is relatively easy to get, at least in France. So we'll see. Goals for 2020 is to complete this amazing triumvirate of records from the 70s by Henri Texier. So yeah, so I'll do some samples for you guys. I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll come back soon.